It's been around 15 months since Halo 5 Guardians was released, and now we can safely say that the game is not going to change very much, maybe other than a few small updates this year. We know that the REQs are mostly complete as well, and that not much more will come from this system. So we asked you, the fans and the viewers, what were your opinions on which REQs you find so useless that you never use? We managed to put together a list using your opinions, and now we will bring them to you in a top 5 most useless REQs in Halo 5. At number 5, the Scout Hog. Fans hate the Scout Hog, although I think we can agree that it has at least one usefulness, which is why this isn't higher on the list, or lower. In Warzone Assault, the Scout Hogs can save your team if you and others just spam select them every time you spawn, allowing you to be the dirtiest mofo savages on defense, driving around the base just so the attackers can't capture the base, and that's just about all this vehicle's good for. It's no better than a mongoose, as while you're only able to carry 2 Spartans in it at a time is completely baffling to me. Why not be able to use the Troop Hog from the old game so you can carry a whole squad of Spartans to your destination? In the end, the Scout Hog is nothing more than a well-defended mongoose and really offers nothing to Halo 5's actual gameplay. At number 4, the most useless REQs in Halo 5 are the swords and the hammers in general. Now, at first, it seemed a bit strange, almost surprising that fans brought up the swords and the hammers, as iconic as they are, weren't actually useful for Warzone. The weapons can get kills very easily, and in the right scenario, you can really mess up the other team with them. But that's just when it hits you. The scenarios rarely are in Warzone, in the Warzone maps. In the standard war zones, there are just too many open spots to run around attempting to smack another player or AI. You may get one unlucky foe, or 2 or 3, but it won't be long until you get dropped by multiple players with BRs across the map. Warzone Assault is much better suited for its kind of weapons, for it being closeness of its combat, but then again, a lucky grenade from someone that is throwing them all over the place will end in your doom. Again, Firefight doesn't really give much opportunities due to the bosses laughing at you if you try to square up in them and have some hand-to-hand combat, and how many enemies are much more powerful than just a swing or a hit with the hammer, and their attacks are a lot heavier than yours in general. The melee weapons fight up in an uphill battle to Halo 5, and they just aren't useful in the long run, and they don't help very much. At number 3, legendary weapons. What are you talking about, Chris and Jacob? What are you guys talking about? The most powerful weapons are useless? Well, at least that's what some of you guys think, alright? There are certainly no doubts that these weapons being usually very powerful, but there is one massive flaw in the legendary weapons, and I will state this as one example. No one wants to use one damn legendary weapon that they have been saving for 6 months, because in a matter of seconds, it can all be gone. You finally spawn with the Nornfang, breaking your urge to save it for just the right game, for the right moment, and you get into the battlefield just to get wasted by another sniper or rocket launcher or tank or whatever from the many things that can kill you in Halo 5. Bam, your Nornfang's gone. See, it's not that useful. Most legendary weapons are so rare and you can lose them so quickly that they're almost just as useless as some of the most pointless weapons, just like the energy swords or just like before in Halo 5 Guardians. Some people can go ham with them under the right circumstances, but we are referring to your average player of the game. Due to the insanely small amount of these weapons that you can get off the random REQ generator, most people will just save 1 or 2 cards they have, never wanting to royally get shafted by some randomness of Warzone, making the weapons pretty much useless. At number 2, the infamous bolt shots. Yes, the bolt shots have still yet to find their true purpose in Halo. People have hated it in Halo 4, and they hated it in Halo 5. And here is a question to you guys. How many times, be honest, have you actually used the bolt shot in any of the games in Warzone? Now, there may be a couple people out there, but no more than a handful of times, right? Even the people that have used the bolt shot. Judging by the large amount of players who say that the weapon is pretty much useless, I can say for sure that a lot of you can relate to this in some way or another. All the variants of the bolt shot really have no true benefits to them. There isn't a bolt shot variant that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tear stuff up with this, although you may say, oh, that's pretty cool, I'll save that for later. Spawn spawning in a bolty normally won't add up to anything you're really doing too spectacular or even useful or maybe even neat. You may get a kill on 1 or 2 players who aren't focused on you, but overall the bolt shot has no real purpose or use, making it the second most useless wreck of all time in Halo 5. At number 1, the Oni Gun Goofs. We see plenty of mongoose hate by the community already, but the normal mongooses were always purposed for getting you from point A to point B. That's their purpose. So we dug a little deeper and played around with all the geese in the game, and surprisingly, the worst mongoose and gun goose to us here at HaloFollower and many fans alike was the Oni variant, and the option that is supposed to be the most useful. For some reason, they decided to make the Oni grenades bounce off the first impact unless he hit something dead on, and this makes it a very strange shooter in Halo, other than the gun geese, which are much more useful for lining up kills and just hitting whatever you shoot at. Also, the extra defense to the goose doesn't really help when you are completely vulnerable from enemy fire at all sides. So that's why we picked the Oni Gun Goofs as the number 1 most useless wreck in Halo 5 Guardians. Guys, if you disagree, which I'm sure many of you will, let us know down in the comment section below. Let's have a discussion. No one's opinions is right or wrong here, so it's nice to see what everyone thinks is the worst wrecks in Halo 5. So yes, let us know down in the comment section below. And huge shout out to Jacob for writing a lot of this video, so applaud to him. He takes care of the socials. Go check him out at HaloFollower.com and Facebook.com/HaloFollower. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.